Well, here in West Linn, we are continuing to track the effects of a tree that fell down right behind us across the road. Utility workers are now out here trying to clear down power lines. We'll have the latest coming up. Plus,
our KGW weather impact alert continues as we track multiple floods and landslides across our region. What you can expect on your morning commute. Plus,
well, when a ranger tells you what to do, you definitely listen.
Yeah, that woman says she had to get out fast after the Sandy River started to rise near her campsite at Oxbow Park in Gresham. We're going to share her story and other weather impacts all around the area as we kick off the 7 o'clock hour of sunrise right now.
Good morning and thank you for joining us live at 7 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. It is Weather Impact Alert Day number 3 here on the Sunrise Show. China, you missed the first 2. Yeah. They were good ones.
So I hear.
China's back in the mix. So is Corey Johnson handling traffic for us this morning. Chris, though, you are the main man once again talking about today's weather impacts.
And at this point, the weather impact is transitioning away from heavy rain to wind. Okay, so we do have a wind advisory in effect for Southwest Washington and Northwest Oregon all day through 10 o'clock this evening. I'll show you what it looks like outside right now from our Wells Fargo tower. You can see the flag atop the Umpqua Bank building snapping a bit in that south breeze. South winds at the airport right now sustained at 18. We have had some gusts upwards of 30 miles per hour. And as we look at Futurecast, that'll be the case all day long with possible 40 to 45 mile an hour gusts in the higher terrain of the Coast Range and certainly that up in the Cascades as well. Ordinarily, this would not be that big of a deal, but given all the rain that we've had, the potential for down trees exists because the soils are so saturated, it may take less wind to take down an occasional tree and bring up the subsequent issues like road closures and power outages. This is not an overwhelmingly big threat, but it is a threat nonetheless, and that's why we wanted to highlight that today. The other story for sure is the warmth. We are up in the upper 50s right now. I've got us topping out at about 61 to go along with those mild south breezes and some occasional showers in our forecast. Corey?
We do have a couple accidents to tell you about this morning. One of them I want to take you to in Tualatin to start with. This is along I-5 northbound. It's at exit 290 to Lower Boones Ferry Road. Fairly new for us, not creating too much in the way of delay, but something we're going to keep an eye on. Another accident, this is in northeast Portland in the Piedmont community. It's along 22nd Avenue, right at Lombard Street. Giving you a tour of the I-5 commute if you're traveling along I-5 this morning to get to your different locations. Moving along pretty nicely across multiple areas, starting to pick up in the way of congestion along some. This is I-5 southbound at Morrison Bridge, things picking up for us there. And then another look from I-5 at Markham Bridge. If you're headed southbound, this is the lower deck. Also, you can see the camera swinging a little bit from those breezy conditions that Chris has been telling us about out on the roadway. I-5 at Marine Drive also starting to pick up in the way of congestion near Kenton. Look at your drive times right now. If you're traveling from Main Street from I-5 south to 405, it is starting to pick up a little bit. It'll take you about 19 minutes. Drew?
All right, thank you, Corey. Let's get back to the impacts of this week's heavy rain in the area. One example right here in West Linn. That's where a huge tree fell over yesterday morning, knocking out power for hundreds of people in that area.
And Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us live along Willamette Falls Drive in West Linn. Thomas, is the tree still there? I can see somebody's behind you doing something, but is the tree there still?
yeah, the tree is here. Crews have now arrived. They've taken over that area and trying to work on the tree, but it looks like these are utility crews behind us as well. They just pulled up on scene, and they're going to start working on these power lines pretty soon is what it seems like is the next step for them as well, as they're trying to, look, the road is clear here. It's been clear all morning, but this is the biggest holdup right now. Is trying to clear this road on 6 and Willamette Falls Drive. That's the next step for these utility crews on scene. They told us that more people are going to be arriving here in the next few minutes. We expect to see more activity here coming up, but this has been a problem for quite some time. This tree that came down knocked out power for 300 people yesterday, and we'll show you over here again, just a pretty significant area that's something they need to work on. But this has been a problem spot for West Linn, leaving some offices, coffee shops, and families in the dark yesterday as people all across Oregon and Washington dealt with that heavy rainfall. We spoke to one business here in the area called the Family Foot Clinic. They were one of the few businesses able to serve customers once their power returned Tuesday morning.
Well, I guess we're the only ones with the lights on for some reason, and there's a whole street full of people that could be open.
Now, wind could be a big problem today, as Chris McGinnis has been telling us, as it could lead to more trees falling down like this. But you can see right here now, back out live here in West Linn, this is the tree that came down. It's about 40 feet just on this side of the road. They cut it once it crossed over the road, so there's a whole lot more of the tree on the other side of the road. But it seems like they've got tape here, they've got kind of signs, cones out there letting people know to be aware and alert of this thing. So progress is being made. Obviously, they still have to get rid of this trunk. That's something that these crews are actively working on as we speak, guys.
All right, Thomas Schultz live in West Linn. We know yesterday, as we talked about, that tree down caused a lot of power outages. Much better situation this morning, but we still do have some outages to tell you about as we take a live look at the outage maps. PGE is reporting just under 900 customers without power this hour, and Pacific Power says about 780 of its customers are currently without power. Next up, take a look at these photos and videos from Tillamook. The Oregon coast, specifically Tillamook, one of the hardest hit areas in the region in terms of heavy rain and flooding the past 48 hours. We saw several streets covered in feet of water yesterday. This morning, Highway 6 is still closed at the intersection of Highway 101. And this video is some of the wildest of the day. ODOT sharing this video of someone, I'm just going to say trying to ride their bike, but they're actually pulling it off some way, somehow, biking through all that water. You can't even see the wheels on that bike, completely underwater. Farmland around Tillamook also flooded. This is a look at where the Trask River overflowed into fields. The river reached 16.5 feet on Tuesday, which is considered minor flood stage. First responders along the coast told us some people still tried to drive through those floodwaters yesterday in their cars. They said it's a situation that's not only dangerous for the driver, but it can also create additional hazards for everyone who's trying to get around.
The underpass where the railroad trestle is, a person drove into that and they actually floated all the way through and made it to the other side, but they abandoned their car that was full of water and just walked away.
Also in Lincoln City, we saw a landslide yesterday. This one actually took a while to clean up because crews said additional debris kept falling onto the road there.
All right, let's head to Southwest Washington, where we saw flooding in several spots. The Kalama River started spilling its banks yesterday. People at the Kalama RV Park were racing to get their trailers out.
Decided I better take a drive through the neighborhood, and I saw it looked like a river running through here. So I hooked everything up, hooked up my trailer to my truck and got it up on the main road out here, and was able to move it to another park.
We also saw water over roads in Castle Rock and in the Longview-Kelso area. Public Works officials expect flooding to continue over the next few days as rain that fell to the north flows through the area. Longview also opened a severe weather shelter overnight that can accommodate up to 60 people.
All right, we have some school districts starting classes 2 hours late today. A couple are there on your screen. The Winlock School District in Lewis County and the Castle Rock School District in Calais County. Also want to add to this list, Seaside schools are opening up 2 hours late today. So schools in Seaside, again, opening up 2 hours late. You can find updates on school closures and delays at kgw.com/closings.
Your time now is 7:08. We are taking a live look at the roads right now from our Drive 8 cam. Things look to be a little slow moving. Eric Patterson is on 26 heading eastbound towards the tunnel. See debris there was on the road that he just passed. We are not seeing a lot of rain, but there's still the risk for fallen trees today. Now for comparison, here's what it looked like outside during sunrise show yesterday in southeast Portland. Definitely a different view there. The windshield wipers definitely going the entire time.
All right, Chris McGinnis back in here with us on this Wednesday morning. So Chris, what are we talking about impact-wise today?
Okay, so today we still have a couple of things. First off, yes, there are numerous rivers that are running high. Case in point, like the Cowlitz River going through Kelso, the Pudding River down in the Aurora area, and a few out in the Coast Range as well. And they're all responding to the rain that we had that is largely wrapped up. So that's one issue. However, the rainfall today is going to be generally very, very light. In fact, some folks will have quite a bit of dry time. You can see radar has lots of gaps in it, meaning there's plenty of areas where it is not raining this morning. The bigger impact, and what China mentioned, I'll get to that in a second, by the way, rainfall totals between now and tomorrow, maybe a few hundredths of an inch to maybe a tenth of an inch in parts of the Willamette Valley, more in the Coast Range, a little bit more to the north as well, which will slow the retreat of the rivers. But the bigger concern today, and why we're continuing with the KGW weather impact alert, is for the potential for wind gusts. We've already had south wind gusts on the order of 30 miles an hour at the airport today, and that will continue to be the case all day long. Futurecast bears that out here as I roll the clock into the afternoon and evening. A lot of us experiencing south winds 20 to 30 miles an hour at times. Ordinarily, that wouldn't be a big deal, and you'd be like, what are we talking about? But it's the fact that we've had so much rain that even a little bit of wind could be just enough to take down a few trees across the region. So that means down trees are possible. You need to be prepared for that. And of course, whatever subsequent road closures or power outages that we have to deal with that. I don't think it's going to be a huge issue, but it is an issue nonetheless. There you can see the flag snapping in the south breeze there atop the Umpqua Bank building in downtown Portland. South winds, southwest winds at the airport sustained right now at 18 miles an hour. And as we mentioned, they'll be gusty upwards of 30 to maybe 35 at times today. Futurecast keeps the temperatures in the upper 50s to about 60, so a very warm day. The record for today is 65. The average high is 47. So again, the temperatures are continuing to run very, very warm, and that means no snow in the Cascades, unfortunately. We will begin to shut the precipitation off those we go into Friday and Saturday. In fact, those are my dry days in my 7-day forecast. Friday, Saturday look like a good opportunity to dry out. Let's get a look at the roads now with Corey.
Now, Chris, we're monitoring an accident that's creating quite the delay for us right now on the Banfield. I want to take you there. This is an accident along I-84 westbound. It's right after exit 1 to 33rd Avenue, creating quite the delay for us. This is a live look from our cameras out there near Lloyd Center. You can see that crash still blocking one lane of the roadway. It looks like another part of that crash on the shoulder. Traffic moving around it at this hour, and it's creating lots of congestion. This is another look from I-84 westbound. If you're traveling near 28th Street, it's moving very slowly, also impacting traffic for us from this stretch that you can see near the Interstate Bridge. So creating some difficulty and some congestion for us out on the roadway, something we're going to continue to monitor. If you are traveling from I-84 west from Troutdale to I-5, it'll take you just under a half an hour. China.
Corey, thank you. Portland police are investigating a deadly shooting in southeast Portland. Officers were called to the 1700 block of Southeast 139th Avenue just after 5 Tuesday night. When they arrived, they found a man with a gunshot wound. Paramedics pronounced him dead at the scene. So far, no suspects are in custody. Homicide detectives are leading the investigation, and anyone with information is asked to contact Portland police.
Someone shot and killed a man in the Hazelwood neighborhood of southeast Portland last night. This happened over on Southeast 139th near Mill Street just before 5:30. Police say they have not arrested anyone yet, and no other details have been released.
The Clackamas County Sheriff's Office misidentified a person involved in a police shooting last week. They now say the suspect in the case who was shot and injured is Cabril Matthew Evans. That's different from the name they released yesterday. Evans is accused of charging at deputies with an axe before he was shot 3 times. He was in the hospital in critical condition at last check. The two deputies who shot him are on paid leave while the investigation plays out. Still to come on Sunrise, a woman camping along the Sandy River forced to suddenly evacuate after river levels rose, spilling into the park entrance. We have that story coming up when Sunrise continues after this.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
A woman camping at Oxbow Park in Gresham had to evacuate as conditions started to turn dangerous on Tuesday. Christine Blackwelder was camping along the Sandy River since Sunday. She says the weather was pretty until it wasn't. It started to pour Monday night and the river rose, eventually spilling over the park entrance road.
Got some pillows, some blankets, some food, some snacks, pretty much everything I need just chaotically thrown in my truck. When a ranger tells you what to do, you definitely listen.
So she says a park ranger woke her up, told her to evacuate, and within 10 minutes, she was packed and gone.
All right, bringing Chris McGinnis back into the mix here. Chris, we've been focusing a lot on the metro area, the coast as well. Now, normally at this time of the year, we like to talk about snow levels in the Cascades. We've got lots of rain levels to talk about.
That is really unfortunate, too, and that continues to be a story, Drew. No snow at the Cascade ski resort bases in Oregon, and I don't foresee that over the next 7 days. So, yes, that continues to be a story, and obviously one we will monitor as ski season. We should be in it at this point, and we are not. Contrast that with what Drew just mentioned. 72-hour, 3-day rainfall totals ending last night. 13 inches of rain on the south flank of Mount St. Helens, 10 inches of rain up in Skamania County up at 3,500 feet. Bull Run, more than a foot of rain. Jewel out in the Oregon Coast Range, almost 10 inches of rain. Of course, all that rain, when it falls up high, has to work its way down into area rivers. So, of course, we have numerous area creeks and rivers that are running high. This one highlighted here is the Cowlitz River going through Kelso. The bigger the river, the slower it is to rise, the slower it is to come down. And this one probably does not get back down below flood stage until Saturday. The good news is, with all the little flood markers that we have out here, generally we are experiencing minor flooding. We don't have any major catastrophic flooding across the region despite the heavy rain that we had. So that's the good news. We still maintain our KGW weather impact alert for this. The other phase of this is wind. We have a wind advisory across southwest Washington and northwest Oregon through 10 o'clock this morning. Winds of 25 to 30 miles an hour ordinarily wouldn't be that big of a deal. However, because the ground has been very wet, saturated, that does bring up the possibility of 1 or 2 down trees and with it subsequent down power lines, road closures, etc. I don't think that's going to be a widespread situation, but it's enough that, hey, we want to let you know about that. Certainly from the rainfall perspective, that is diminishing. In fact, we had some light rain showers out there this morning, but there's a lot of dry real estate out here as well. So as we've been showing you, the morning commute nowhere near the soak fest, the float that it was yesterday. Here's a look at Futurecast this morning. Again, a little smattering of green on the map, but again, you can see our modeling really, it rain shadows Portland, as in it dumps the rain in the Coast Range, but not so much through the I-5 corridor from Vancouver south to Salem. So we may wind up with a mostly dry day and just 1 or 2 light sprinkles here and there. And Futurecast bears that out, even through Thursday morning. So, 24 hours from now, cumulatively, rainfall tallies here in Portland, 0.05 of an inch, 1/10 of an inch here and there, obviously more in the Coast Range and more up in the South Washington Cascades. This is maybe a little more impactful because, of course, all of that drains into the Cowlitz River. So that'll keep that running high through the Kelso area. But by and large, the rain threat here across the region is much, much less to non-existent today. It's warm. It's 58. It's really breezy out there this morning, and the temperatures are certainly one of the stories as well. I've got us topping out at 61 degrees this afternoon here in Portland. Today's record is 65. So near record warmth here as we go, and even beyond. The average high is 47, and you can see we are nowhere near that, even for overnight lows until later on this week. We do get an opportunity to dry out, though. I've got us dry on Friday and Saturday, so some good news there. Corey?
Well, Chris, we continue to monitor an accident in northeast Portland that's creating quite the delay for us along the Banfield right now. It's along I-84 westbound, that accident right after exit 1 to 33rd Avenue, creating quite the delay. You can see from our our cameras, it looks like that accident has been pushed to that shoulder. Now, this is a crash we showed you about 10 minutes ago that was blocking a lane of traffic. Thankfully, emergency crews are out there. It's been pushed to that shoulder, but things are still moving very slowly for us. This is another live look for you along I-84 if you're headed westbound from 28th Street, moving slowly. The congestion backing up all the way from the 205 split. So definitely add some extra time to your morning commute there. This is another incident we're following, a stalled vehicle that's at the off-ramp along I-405 at Montgomery. It is creating some delays. It doesn't look like emergency crews are out there just yet, so something to keep in mind. Congestion bumping up for us, and we're seeing that reflected in our drive times. If you're headed along I-84 west from Troutdale to I-5, it's steadily bumping up. The last time I saw you, it was about 10 minutes lower in drive time. Now it's up to 36, so plan accordingly. China?
Thank you, Corey. Inflation, paychecks, and rising food costs at the top of mind for many Americans as President Trump brings his new economic message to Pennsylvania. What the president had to say coming up when Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues in 2 minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
President Trump gave his take on the country's economy to a crowd in Pennsylvania last night. The cost of living remains a hot-button topic throughout the U.S. For more on what the president had to say, here's NBC's Alice Barr.
President Trump in battleground Pennsylvania overnight for a campaign-style rally focused on the economy and a new rallying call.
Lower prices, bigger paychecks. We're getting inflation. We're crushing it.
That as recent polls show voters unhappy with stubbornly high prices and unsatisfied with the president's progress to bring them down, while in a new interview he gave himself high marks on his economy.
A plus, 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 plus.
Sure, yeah.
See, that's even laughable.
NBC's Garrett Hake asked Pennsylvania voters for their take.
The prices in here are crazy, but like I said, the 401ks are going up. You know, so it's a mixed bag.
If the election were tomorrow, would you vote for him again?
No.
Because of his affordability?
Right.
Big picture, gas prices are falling below $3 a gallon on average, but grocery prices are up more than 1% since January, hitting staples like beef, orange juice, and coffee hard. President Trump laying the blame on Democrats and his predecessor.
We're repairing 4 years of disaster.
As the road to next year's critical midterm election starts heating up, with control of Congress on the line. Overnight, another victory for Democrats projected to win Miami's mayoral race for the first time in nearly 3 decades. The race focused on affordability, shaping up as the central issue for voters. The Federal Reserve set to announce today whether to cut interest rates for the 3rd straight time, with economists broadly predicting a 1/4 point cut to give a boost amid economic anxieties and signs of job market weakness, though it also risks worsening inflation. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
News from Google. Google agreed to a $700 million settlement after investigators found it engaged in anti-competitive practices on the Google Play Store. Oregon Attorney General Dan Rayfield says the majority of these payouts will be made automatically for people who made purchases between 2016 and 2023. The money will be sent to people through either PayPal or Venmo. This settlement also requires Google to change its business practices to prevent future harm. There's a court hearing to finalize the deal set for April 30th. Some big news out of Australia. Starting today, Australia is banning kids under 16 from using social media. Tech companies say they don't think this rule will make kids any safer, but they say they'll follow the ban using age verification tools. Experts say kids need limits on their social media use because it has both benefits and drawbacks. Teens say if you take social media away, it'll make them disconnected. Live look outside here this morning from our Pioneer Courthouse Square sky cam. We've got the Christmas lights on the tree down there, and certainly not as wet as we saw it yesterday morning. There are still some weather impacts to talk about. We'll cover all that for you in our 7:30 half hour, starting with Chris McGinnis, who will bring us our Wednesday forecast.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Well, good morning. The time now coming up on 7:29. We continue to monitor an accident impacting drivers in the Hollywood district along I-84 westbound. It's right after exit 1 to 33rd Avenue. You can see from our traffic map that congestion spanning all the way back to the 205 split. So it's definitely creating some delays. This is a live look from our cameras out there. You can see it's been pushed to one shoulder. It was blocking a lane of traffic previously, but it looks like it is starting to rapidly clear, which is good to see. But the congestion still sticking around. This is I-84 west at 28th Avenue, moving slow for us as a result of that incident, and it's definitely reflected in our drive times. Chris?
Corey, thank you for that. The rain easing up across the region. That will be the story today. More dry time than wet, so good news from that perspective. However, Our KGW weather impact alert continues for the wind advisory today. 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts on and off throughout the day. Ordinarily, that wouldn't be a big deal, but given the saturated soils that we've got, that could be enough to take down some trees in some cases. Daytime highs today, very, very mild, up near 61 degrees.
7:30 half hour, the Sunrise Show on this Wednesday morning as we take a live look outside in Lincoln City, our Chinook Winds Casino Resort Skycam. The coast, definitely one of the hardest hit areas the past 48 hours in terms of heavy rain and floodwaters. China Green, we've got a lot of viewers on the coast watching this morning for the latest information. What do we say to them?
Good morning. There's a lot going on, but I think one of my favorite parts of what's going on is the fact that it's warm-ish.
Ish.
I mean, we're talking close to 60 degrees.
It's a warm rain.
Yes.
Sent China out there standing in it on a live shot for 4 hours in the 60-degree rain.
No.
No. All right. Yes, it is mild. It's breezy. That's the other story this morning. So our KGW weather impact alert continues today, not for the rain, but for the wind. We have a wind advisory across southwest Washington and northwest Oregon, and ordinarily 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts, which we have seen so far this morning at the airport, and we will continue to see throughout the day. That's what Futurecast shows us, winds gusting out of the south upwards of 30 miles an hour throughout today and through this evening. Ordinarily, that wouldn't be a big deal. But because we just had 3, 4, 5 inches of rain in the valley, double that in the Coast Range and Cascades, that could be enough because of the saturated soils to take down some trees. Not a widespread issue, I don't think, but at least enough of a hazard to mention it is possible today. Speaking of the breeze, there it is. Our Wells Fargo sky camera looking down on the Umpqua Bank building. You can see that flag snapping in the breeze. Winds sustained on the order of 18 miles an hour. They've been gusting to 30 at times so far today. It's 58, and we will stay in the upper 50s to near 60 all day long. The average high this time of the year is 47. That means no snow in the Cascades, not today and not in my 7-day forecast. But today, a little drippy from time to time and certainly a little breezy and mild. Corey?
Well, Chris, we have an accident we've been monitoring along the Banfield in the Hollywood district, creating quite the delay for us. This is along I-84 westbound. It's right after exit 1 to 33rd Avenue. It's been ongoing for about, I'd say, 30 to 40 minutes or so. You can see from our traffic map, it is creating quite the delay that's backing up all the way to the 205 split at this hour. Now, this is a live look from that accident. At first, it was blocking a lane of traffic. It's since been pushed to that shoulder, that right-hand shoulder, as emergency crews are out there, but still creating quite the delay. This is I-84 westbound at 28th Avenue, slowly crawling along this morning for us as a result. Another incident that we are monitoring, it looks like in northwest Portland, or southwest Portland, excuse me, along 405 South. It's near the exit ramp to Southwest Lincoln Street. It's a stalled vehicle that's right at the end of the ramp. You can see it from our cameras out here, stuck out there. Emergency crews haven't been along just yet to help that individual, but it is backing up near that off ramp as a result. Taking a look at your drive time, starting to really bump up there. If you're traveling along I-84 west to Troutdale, if you are from Troutdale to I-5, it'll take you about 35 minutes. China?
Thank you, Corey. We are continuing to see the impact of this bad weather. In southeast Portland, some families collected sandbags last night to prevent the flooding.
And over in West Linn, we saw a huge tree fall over on Willamette Falls Drive yesterday morning. It knocked out the power for hundreds of people in that area. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz is live in West Linn, right by that tree. So Thomas, you showed it to us earlier. It's now off the road, but it's still there on the scene, and it's big. It's at least 2 Chinas tall, maybe 3.
I would say 2, maybe even 3 Chinas tall, guys. Look, I mean, this is a tree. This is a tree. In reality, this is a tree, at least on this side of the road, that's probably 40 feet long. It crosses over onto the other side as well. We showed you half an hour ago, there was crews actually putting out these cones, putting up this tape as well, just blocking it off even further. But this thing is absolutely massive. I mean, it's probably 4 feet off the ground, just on its side as well. Look, it's not just West Linn that's run into some issues. We've seen problems down in southeast Portland, especially along Johnson Creek. That's always a trouble spot when there's a lot of rainfall, and it's no different this time around. After watching the creek rise to very high levels, we drove by it yesterday. It's really wide right now. A lot of people were collecting sandbags last night over in the Lince area. One man tells us he was out there because he's already seen some flooding in his basement.
It's overflowing on the driveway, it's in the yard, it's in our basement.
My mother has a driveway that goes down, and sometimes the drain doesn't work properly. And if it's a lot of rain, it takes a long time, so we don't need it going into the basement or nothing.
So look, if you're worried about flooding, you need to get sandbags. So that's something you want to get. You can do so at Linn's Park. You can also go on the west side to Gabriel Park. So a couple locations across town. Back out here live, if we look, this is the tree right across the street. We'll pan over here. We've got a utility worker here. He just showed up on scene. We've seen a lot of guys actually just drive up and stick around for 5 minutes before then driving away. So clearly they're still monitoring this area very heavily. We haven't seen work begin very much, so you can see right down there. Power lines are still closed along Willamette Falls Drive and 4th Street. So this is still an area that is in need of some repairs, especially along these power lines, pretty significant repairs. We imagine that's going to be going on all throughout the day, but some good news at least out here. The road is reopened and those crews have been in and out all morning long, so something that they're obviously closely watching and continuing to monitor. Guys?
All right, Thomas Schultz with that tree story for us in West Linn, and we have another one to share with you this morning. This one in North Portland, new this morning. 2 cars hit this large tree that fell on Marine Drive just west of Portland Road. This is video from the last 2 hours. City crews and police working to clear that tree and debris from the road. The 2 vehicles involved were towed away. We're told that no one was hurt.
Your time now is 7:36. We are taking a live look at our Timberline sky cam. Yesterday we saw a lot of rain up there, but that did not translate into new snow. Mount Hood, meantime, saw over 8 inches of rain as of 11 o'clock last night. And with all that rain soaking into the ground and not much snowpack, experts say the risk for trees falling and landslides goes up. This slide happened in North Bend, Washington, shut down part of I-90 Monday night into Tuesday morning. And experts say first thing to do if you are on the lookout for landslides is listen. Keep those ears open. Strange sounds like trees cracking or rocks shifting, that could be a warning sign. A small trickle of mud or debris can sometimes come before a bigger slide. And if you live near a creek or stream, suddenly seeing muddy water can mean a debris flow may be moving downstream. Bottom line, travel carefully, especially at night when these signs are harder to spot.
Yesterday's heavy rain caused sewage overflow into the Willamette River near Oregon City. So this means that everyone needs to avoid contact with the river between the Arch Bridge that connects Oregon City and West Linn and the Abernathy Bridge. Meanwhile, city crews in Portland have been busy taking care of storm drains the past 2 days, clearing more than 130 drains between Monday and Tuesday.
Problem with ponding water like this is even if you're going slow, there's a threat that you'll lose traction, even hydroplane, depending on how deep the water is.
If you see a backed up storm drain that's causing a large puddle of water, you can report it simply by calling 311.
After a flood, it's important to stay out of the water. The National Weather Service says floodwaters can become contaminated with sewage or chemicals. There may also be sharp objects floating in the water, or the road may have collapsed underneath. Multnomah County recommends calling your insurance agent to file a claim if your home has suffered any flood damage. And keep the power off until an electrician has inspected your system. And then remove anything that is wet from your home immediately to prevent mold from forming.
All right, Chris McGinnis has been handling our weather coverage primarily from the Weather Center the last couple of days. Things are slowing down rainfall-wise, Chris, but we still have that wind to deal with.
Yeah, and I want to get into that in a second, but also a reminder, of course, Drew, to your point, we still do have a couple of area rivers that are running out of their banks. This one that we've got highlighted up here near Kelso, that's the Cowlitz River. That's expected to crest and come back down within its banks by Saturday. The good news is, as to Drew's point, the rain is certainly lessening across the region. In fact, it's compared to yesterday, it's barely raining at all. In fact, radar bears that out here. I mean, there's a lot of dry real estate to be had. That may be a little drippy for parts of the commute, but nothing like yesterday. And rainfall potential between now and let's say over the next 24 hours is not much. In fact, Futurecast is only spitting out about 0.05 of an inch of rain here in Portland. More to the north, though, and this is more troublesome, I guess, for the Cowlitz River going through Kelso and the rivers that come out of the South Washington Cascades, because they're still going to get hit pretty good. But for the most part, our viewing area is going to be spared the brunt of that next atmospheric river, which is focusing to the north. We will see some significant rain at the coast, but again, nothing like what you saw yesterday. However, again, the wind is one of the issues here, and I'm not sure if what happened to our advisory there, but in any event, south wind gusts today on the order of 20 to 30 miles an hour. And with that being said, it's not a lot, but given the saturated soils that we've got out there, that could be just enough to bring down a stray tree and subsequent power outage or road closures. I don't expect that being a widespread deal, but it is something that could happen throughout the day. So just be mindful of that. Rainfall today is very, very light. You can see Futurecast continues to show a few green blobs here and there, but otherwise the rain really not the story. The other story, of course, is that it's incredibly mild out there. At last check at the airport, we're 58 degrees. South breeze sustained at 18. It's been gusting upwards of 30 miles an hour at times today, and we'll keep the temperatures in the upper 50s to about 60 this afternoon. Mild tonight, a few showers on Thursday, and then a couple of dry days. This is great news. We've got dry weather in the forecast for Friday and Saturday. Showers return on Sunday. Monday looks like a day with some heavier rain. We'll watch that, but nothing like what we just went through. So happy to report that. Corey?
Well, Chris, we've got a lot going on out on the roadway in the way of accidents, vehicle breakdowns, and congestion. First, I want to take you to this incident along I-405 South that we've been monitoring. It is creating a little bit of delay for us. It's a stalled vehicle, as you can see, that's out there. That's at the bottom of Southwest. It looks like, I'm waiting for our graphic to pop up, Southwest Lincoln Street. There it is, near the exit ramp from 405 South. So creating some delays for us at this time. Another accident in the Hollywood district that was blocking one lane of traffic. This accident that's been pushed to the right-hand shoulder along I-84 West near exit 1, that is starting to clear for us, as you just saw from our live camera, but it's still creating some congestion for us past exit 1 to 33rd Avenue. This is I-84 at 28th Avenue, moving slowly for us as a result. In Oregon City, also monitoring an incident out on the roadway. We do have a closure, Willamette Falls Drive, the eastbound lanes. The road is blocked between 10th Street and Chestnut Street due to a fallen tree, so something to keep in mind there. Taking a look at your drive times, if you're headed in from Main Street to 405, it'll be about 29 minutes. China?
All right, thank you very much. Corey Johnson handling traffic for us on this Wednesday morning. Still to come here on the Sunrise Show, a barista losing thousands after a car break-in. Then the coffee shop she works at sets up a fundraiser to help her out, and thieves attack again. Also coming up on the Sunrise Show, are you tired of the 6-7 craze?
Yes, yes,
6-7. Apparently you're not alone. China Green is with you, as are others. What In-N-Out is doing to put an end to the 6-7 madness.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7 local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Employees at a Northwest Portland coffee shop have been dealing with a series of thefts and break-ins. So one of the employees at Sterling Coffee Roasters was closing up the shop the Saturday after Thanksgiving when they found someone had smashed 4 of their car windows and stole several personal belongings, including their laptop. So the coffee shop held a fundraiser this past weekend to help pay for repairs. But during that fundraiser, someone stole a purse, a wallet, and a passport, all belonging to other shop workers.
And to me, it's not just about the bag. Like, it is sentimental to me and it was expensive to me. But it's somebody coming in and taking from like baristas at a small local coffee shop. Like, that's why I want this person to not get away with it.
That was pretty shocking. It was a little disheartening to realize that someone had come in on a night where we were trying to do some good.
Portland police investigators say they're still looking into all of these cases. The city of Tigard says a nationwide cybersecurity breach has hit its emergency alert vendor and may have exposed personal information for people who use Code Red. That's Tigard's public safety alert system. So this means names, numbers, emails, addresses, and possibly passwords could all be at risk. The city of Tigard says anyone who reused their Code Red password elsewhere should definitely change it. Officials say Tigard's emergency notification system, though, is still working.
Now for a look at your consumer headlines. In-N-Out has stopped calling out the number 67 with orders. It turns out teachers aren't the only ones that are sick and tired of the 6-7 craze. An employee says the change happened about a month ago. This comes as some competitors are cashing in, with Wendy's offering a 67-cent Frosty and Pizza Hut has 67-cent wings.
6-7!
Stop it. Spice maker McCormick says black currant will be the 2026 flavor of the year. It's starting to appear on menus in the United States, notably in cocktails and soft drinks. It has origins in Europe and Central Asia. McCormick's flavor of the year is part of its annual report on dining trends. Prebiotic soda brand Olipop has a unique holiday giveaway. Soda scented wrapping paper. The designs match flavors like crisp apple, vintage cola, and ginger ale. 1,000 fans will be randomly chosen to get a roll of wrapping paper and a 12-pack of that flavor. You can enter daily at drinkolipop.com/holidayhelper. The giveaway runs through December 16th. Now, there's only 2 people in our household, but the rule is you do not do anything in wrapping paper that has glitter.
Yeah, just too messy.
Absolutely not.
Oh, there's a friend of my ex-wife used to send a letter every Christmas time, and when you open up the letter, it was filled with glitter inside. So you'd open it up, and all this glitter would spill out. I'm like,
something to remember them by for months.
Just send the car. The car was beautiful.
Yeah.
The glitter was a mess.
Yes, didn't like that. Big news. We just got notice that the wind alert.
Yeah, the wind advisory. Yeah, Weather Service canceling the wind advisory. It was marginal to begin with, so that is good news, right? That said, all the reasons that we were talking about this morning for the marginal wind and the possibility of a down tree or two, I'm not going to stand here and say that's not going to happen. It could happen. So that's one of the reasons. Thank you very much. One of the other things, of course, and the big story that has been over the last couple of days is the flooding rain out across the region. We still do have numerous area rivers that are running high. Case in point, the Cowlitz River, which is going through the Kelso area, and that is not going to get back into its banks probably until Saturday. Of course, the Pudding River down in Aurora, numerous other rivers, the Nehalem, the Trask River out in the Coast Range, all above their banks. They're going to take a little while to go down, but here's the good news this morning, more good news. Rain is really wrapping up. And as we were talking about yesterday at noon, we think the rainfall rates are going to drop. Not only have they dropped, but they're going to be minuscule today, especially compared to where we've been. Radar right now showing a lot of dry area out there, so that's certainly some good news. Rainfall potential between now and the next 24 hours. Not much here in Vancouver and Portland and points south. Now up at the Kelso area, Cowlitz County and getting points north, again, the areas that drain the Cowlitz River and down through Kelso, there still is a bullseye, some pretty reasonable amount of rain to fall up there over the next 36 hours. But for a lot of us, even the North Oregon Coast Range, rainfall amounts, I mean, any is not helpful at this point, but what we are going to get is not overly impactful. And so I'm happy to tell you that. Why we keep the weather impact alert going this morning and why we've been talking about this is the marginal wind gusts that are still occurring. We've had gusts to 30 miles an hour already this morning, and you can see Futurecast keeps those gusts going 25 to 30 throughout the day today. Is that overly impressive? No, not by any stretch. But given the fact that we've had so much rain, it's entirely possible that we get a report of a down tree, maybe a down power line here or there. So we'll continue with that, but know that we've really, not only have we turned the corner on this thing, but we're pretty well on the downside here, and just kind of looking forward to having those rivers go down. And Futurecast will help with that as we show you not much rain in the forecast today or tonight for that matter. So certainly some good news there. All right, temperature-wise, that's also, of course, one of the stories. near record warmth that came along with this atmospheric river. Our record high for today is 65. I think we've been as warm as 59 or 60, and that will probably go in the books as our high for the day. The point is, normal temperatures this time of the year are 47. That's why there's no snow in the Cascades. We had 13 inches of rain up at 4,000 feet on Mount St. Helens over the last 3 days. So that gives you the idea that there's just not much in the way of snowpack up there. And maybe that's a good thing, given the rain that we just had. I don't see cooler temperatures, though, in the forecast over the next little while. We stay in the upper 50s today. Upper 50s tomorrow as well. It will be a little drippy, maybe even more so showery tomorrow than today, but that rain does not look like it's going to be too big of a deal. And then we finally get some dry time here, Friday and Saturday. We've got dry weather with the next shot of rain coming in on Sunday. Corey, back to you.
Well, Chris, we have multiple incidents. We're keeping an eye out on the roadway. This is the first I want to take you to, creating a major traffic impact for us. Right now, it's an incident along I-5, the southbound section. Looks like currently blocked off. It's from the entry ramp from 405 southbound. Now, giving you a look from our map where you can orient where this accident is. It's just west of South Harbor Drive. But again, the entry ramp from I-405 south to I-5 south currently impacted by that crash. And that's not far from this incident along I-405 south, the exit ramp to Southwest Lincoln Street due to a stalled vehicle. We've been monitoring that. That looks like it's being pushed out of the way. This is another incident along I-84 west in the Hollywood district, an accident that's been pushed to that right-hand shoulder that was creating delays for us along the Banfield, but is starting to clear. And then in Happy Valley, this incident, a stalled vehicle along I-205, the southbound lanes currently impacted near exit 17 as a result of that. Giving you a look at your drive times right now, congested really across the board. If you're traveling along I-5 north from Wilsonville Road to the Markham Bridge, it'll take you just under 40 minutes. Guys?
Thank you, Corey. All right, if you haven't sent out your holiday packages yet, Drew, you may be running out of time.
Gotta buy them first. Gotta buy them before you send them.
You're a little Money ball. Coming up, why experts say you'll want to send them as early as you can this year. Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues in just 2 minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Last full week of the KGW Great Toy Drive, and yes, we still need your help. A live look right now from our toy box, which is filling up, but I wouldn't say it's completely filled. There's definitely some room in there. So keep on sending those toys, or simply send us cash. We have elves that can do the toy shopping for you. All you have to do is hop online, go to kgw.com/toy, click that donate cash button. A great week to give, by the way, this last full week is, because Great Clips is doubling donations that you make online. You can also drop off new unwrapped toys at 2 collection events this weekend. The first one is coming up on Saturday. Saturday is the 13th of December, I believe. But the bottom line is it's this Saturday, 11 to 2, Cedar Hills Crossing. Check us out there. And then on Sunday, the very next day, we're going to be at the Beaverton Fred Meyer. That's the one over by Highway 217, collecting toys from 11 to 2.
So if you haven't sent that perfect holiday gift, you might be running out of time. Mail carriers now say now is the time to ship. But when is the absolute last day that you can send out a package and hope to get it there on Christmas?
Yes, ma'am.
Megan Bragg finds out.
According to USPS Live Mail Tracker, 5.2 billion packages are on their way to their destinations this holiday. So when's the latest to send out those packages? And is there anything you can't send? Let's verify.
Our sources, Craig Foreman, president of e-commerce DHL Supply Chain, Philip Bogenberger, communication specialist with Postal Service, and FedEx.
Customers are seeing their mail arrive in 3 days or less. So that's pretty incredible, especially when you consider, we deliver to 169 million addresses across the country.
So with all those deliveries in mind, what's the final day to ship something to make sure it gets to its destination by Christmas? It depends on the destination and the carrier, but Foreman says to be safe, do it sooner rather than later.
The amount of time between Cyber Weekend and Christmas holiday is quite shortened. It's about a week less than it normally is. So being proactive and not procrastinating on when you buy is going to be really important. December 15th is a good, safe cutoff.
For USPS, it depends on how you're sending it, but December 17th through the 20th is when you want to get that in the mail. December 15th is the key date for FedEx Ground Economy. The next question, are there items you can't send through the mail? USPS states airbags, ammunition, explosives, gasoline, and liquid mercury are not allowed in U.S. mail. Bogenberger says some items can only travel by ground.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deep